Let me ask you something. When's the last time your life felt totally put together? If you're anything like me, the answer is probably never. But here's the thing, those messy moments are where the magic happens. Welcome to a legendary mess. I'm RayneMartine, and I'm so excited to finally share this podcast with you guys. It's been sitting on my heart for a while. It's finally taking a leap of faith at this point. So, welcome aboard. I can't wait to go on this journey with you guys, and I can't wait to hear your stories and build this dope community of our legendary mess. I spent so much time of my life trying to make myself look polished, make it look like I have it all together, make it look like I have it all figured out, make it look perfect, when in fact, life by itself can be extremely messy. We as humans can be extremely messy. We're not perfect, we're going to fall short, and maybe that's the point. It's not supposed to be perfect, and it's not supposed to be all together. Maybe it is supposed to be a legendary mess. Each week on this podcast, we'll explore the mess of life, the mess of career failures or personal failures or creative chaos, or just those moments where everything just seems to completely fall apart. We are going to not only remind ourselves of two things: that one, we all deserve grace. We have to cut ourselves grace. And the second thing, life is messy. Doesn't mean it has to be perfect, but there's something beautiful in the mess. We're gonna laugh, maybe even cry, but we're gonna have a time, and we're gonna go on this journey, and it's gonna be one heck of one. So let's kick this off. I'm going to share a time where I thought I had it literally all together, and it went and fell completely apart. So, cousins, we family now. Let's jump into this. Picture, Sicily, 1937. I'm joking. No. If you watch Golden Girls, you'll know exactly where that came from. But on a serious tip, we're gonna throw it back. I did get permission to tell this story by my mom. It's not too crazy, but it'll make sense why I got permission to tell the story. So we're gonna throw it back to 2002. A 13-year-old chubby me who had made a decision to be vegan. Yep, you heard me, I was vegan. It was Christmas Eve, 2002. I was 3 months into my vegan journey, right? And my mom, God bless that woman, I love her so much. I am the Robin to her Batman. We're tight like that. We're not perfect. We really are an iconic mess. You'll get to see that at some point, just not this episode. But I love my mother dearly, and that woman is truly amazing, but she's one heck of a cook, let me tell you. Christmas Eve 2002. My mom made her iconic ham, and those who have gotten a chance to be blessed by my mom's magnificent hand of cooking know she got certain dishes that could stop a war. Ham and that rice could stop wars, okay? My mom made the Christmas ham with the cherries, the glaze, the pineapples, it was perfect. Because I had chose to be vegan for a couple of reasons. Two of them were based off of my weight. I was chubby, and I didn't like the adults around me commenting on my weight. And the other one was because I figured if I could be proactive in a different way than what the doctors were telling me, maybe I would lose some of the weight that they were complaining or pointing out to me about. I call it complaining. They called it unhealthy. Yeah, it's probably both, if we're being honest. But it was Christmas Eve 2002, and my mom made her ham. She actually had spent the whole day preparing Christmas dinner. At this point, I needed to take a nap because the smell of all that good food was getting to me, and I was 3 months strong into my vegan journey, and I was either going to be tempted or I was going to pass out. There really was no in between. At some point in between that space of me sleeping, like taking a nap, she told me she was running out because she needed more ingredients for some of the side dishes. I kind of probably most likely grumbled, okay, whatever. So she took my siblings with her, and it was just me in the house. Now, I had gotten up and decided to go get water, and I go into the kitchen, and being that we lived in this apartment, it was a walk-through kitchen. So I came off one end, and the stove was kind of far. I don't want to say too far, but it was far enough that when I walked, all I saw was the ham. It was in foil, it was in the pan. I saw the ham, and I was like, Rain, we will not do this. We're going to go get the water, and we're going to go mind our business. Let me tell you how fast I failed at this. I walked by that ham about 4 times, and I swear each time that I had to walk by it, I swore it was talking to me. God bless my mother. That woman slaved over that stove. Hence why I had to get permission for this story, because as it goes on, you're going to be like, yeah, you were nuts. I opened up the foil. Should have did that. That was strike one. I opened up the foil after I felt like that ham was talking to me. I opened up the foil, and my mom pre-slices the ham. Whenever she finishes, she lets it cool. She slices the ham up. I took 1 piece. Now, guilt did kind of hit me, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. Like, dang, I messed up my vegan journey. But then gluttony hit me, and it was like, eat the rest of that ham. And I did. Unapologetically. Ate a whole ham. A 13-year-old girl ate a whole ham. There wasn't nothing but the juice and bones, maybe gristle, in that pan. By the time I had realized what I had did, let me just be very transparent. It only took me 15 minutes to kill that ham, because I had been a vegan for 3 months, and the temptation was so strong. I didn't have any morals to stop myself. Looking back, that was really bad. Terrible. But I ate that ham, the whole ham, within 15 minutes. I'm not proud of it. Impressed, but not proud. And after I had really realized what I had did, after my fingers realizing what I had did, I hear my mom and the keys and my siblings, they're coming to the door. I panicked and ran back into my room. I don't know why I did that. I really don't, but I ran back into my room. My mom comes in. It's almost like she had a sensor that was like, boop, 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 look at the ham. She realizes that there's no ham in there. She realizes there's no ham in there, none. And she looks, and I knew she was angry because of the tone. She goes, now, Rain, come here. 13-year-old chubby Rain does this as if that was going to do anything. I smelled like the ham. I go out with a whole robe and hoodie. A robe and a hoodie. First of all, that was bonkers of me to go out with a robe and a hoodie to my mother. I'm supposed to be helping her with the groceries. That didn't even occur. She goes, what happened to the ham? And she has this look on her face that's almost like, it looks could kill. I would have been dead. Gone, okay? She looks at me and she's like, what happened to the ham? As much as I wanted to lie and say it fell on the floor and I threw it out, that wouldn't have sufficed because she would have checked the garbage. I easily just did this. And she asks me again, what happened to the ham? And that third, what happened to the ham? I was like, I ate it. It's gone, girl. It's gone. I ate the ham, Ma. It's gone. And she goes, you ate the whole ham by yourself? I said, yes, I did. And it was delicious. Okay. Excuse me. I'm like, it was delicious. It was. That woman chewed me up. Okay. She chewed me up. Chewed me up like I don't know what. She chewed me up. I only had my dignity, which was very small at that point. I had this much dignity left of me, and that's all I could take back into the room. My mother was so mad. Not only was she mad, that woman was fuming because now she has to go back out and buy another ham and the ingredients that she had already placed on that ham that I dogged and ate and left no traces of. My mother, being as angry as she was, she told me to go to bed. And I did. I didn't go to bed, but I went in my room and I stayed in there. And at some point my grandmother calls. Well, she didn't call. She came over. She came over and she goes, what happened? God bless my grandmother. I miss that woman so much. My angel. She goes and says, what happened? She asks me, and I'm like, Grandma, let me tell you, the ham was talking to me. She left me in here with the ham. It was talking to me, and I ate it. It was gone. It tasted delicious, but I do feel bad. And I did. I did feel bad because no one will know how great that ham tasted but me. Two, my mother had to go back out, spend money that I don't know if she had or whether she was saving. It doesn't matter. She had to go back out, spend money, and remake a whole nother ham that she had already made, and she's slaving all over the stove. And I know she wanted to be done cooking, and here I was being gluttonous, and I ate the whole ham. Instead of my grandmother like condemning me, this one falls apart laughing. And as confused as I was, I'm like, why is she laughing? My grandmother falls apart laughing, and she's like, girl, I knew you would break. And that's where I had to laugh, because she was like, I put too much pressure on myself about my weight and all of that. And she was right. I did. But looking back, here's what I learned. I'm impressed that I can eat a whole ham at 13. But I realized that wasn't the smartest thing for me to do. I should not have eaten a whole ham. Two, I felt bad that my mom had to go back out and slave over the stove again. And I know she was tired because she was up, still cooking. And I didn't want her to be doing that, but I felt really bad. I offered to help. That woman told me, get out of her face and go to bed. I had no choice but to obey, because at this point she threatened me with all my Christmas gifts being sold. So, and rightfully so, she could have sold them, and at the end of the day, I still would have had to learn the lesson, like what I did was wrong. But overall, the lesson that I learned was I fell short, and as fast as I wasn't giving myself grace, I had no choice but to, because that's what happens. Sometimes you think you have it together and you don't, and that's okay. Life still is going to go on, and you're still going to be okay at the end of the day. And that's the reason I made this podcast. I made this podcast not only to shine a light that we don't have to have it all together, despite what anybody says, society, your parents, whoever, maybe the little voice in your head, but we don't have to have it all together. Sometimes you need that mess to teach you something, so when you look back, you can learn from it. And that's exactly what happened. And I'm grateful. I'm not mad. I mean, my children did it to me at one point, and I wasn't mad. I just kind of laughed it off, because I was done once upon a time. So I have to give grace, and the same way that God gives me grace, I have to give myself grace sometimes, because I'm human. I'm going to fall short. I'm not perfect, and I don't want to be perfect. But I also know I don't have to have it all together, and I don't have to have it all figured out. Sometimes a little mess makes life a little legendary. So on this journey, I want you guys to share your legendary messes. It doesn't have to be exactly the Christmas ham, but share your legendary messes. We are a community. We're gonna build this family with love and grace and patience, and it's gonna be great. So I invite you guys to share your legendary mess stories. You can comment down below under this video. You can find me on IG. You can find me as I am RayneMartine on IG, or a legendary mess on IG. Either one works. You can DM me it, or you can put it in the comments, or you can find me on TikTok, RayneMartine. I'm simple. And if you happen to come across me on Facebook, I'm gonna let y'all know I hate Facebook with a passion. I'm trying to get to a space of liking it. I really don't like Facebook. I hate it, really. But you can catch me on there. It's my name, RayneMartine. You can catch me on there, and you can share your stories, and together we're gonna build this community. We're gonna build this family, and we're gonna share our legendary mess, and we're going to remind ourselves that, one, we have to cut ourselves grace. Two, life can be messy, but a little mess can be legendary. So, cousins, thank you for being a part of my very first episode. I can't wait to hear your stories, and I can't wait to go on this journey with you guys. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Find me on IG. I'll also put it in the description box. And welcome to a legendary mess. I can't wait to be on this journey with you guys. Signing off, I'm RayneMartine. God loves you. I love you. Let's go.